What?
I don't get it.
I'm gone.
What? I don't get it. What is the problem with that? Why does everybody find that so funny?
Samson, you slept with a Puerto Rican midget. Why would you do that?
I already gave her the money. What is wrong with that?
I gotta do the tease, man. Get out of here.
All right.
Get out
All
of
right.
here.
All right.
Welcome to A.P.O.V with Vic Christian. Today we're going to talk about the internet, its uses and maybe its destruction of our society. Computer love, or is it computer destruction for love? Today on A.P.O.V with Vic Christian. Don't go anywhere. Hey, welcome to A.P.O.V with Vic Christian. I'm your host, Vic Christian. On today's show, we're going to talk about sex in the cyber city, computer love. And to get us started on this, we got an all-star panel. Let me start introducing them. To my right here is my good friend. I've known him for 15 years. He's one of the funniest comedians in the country. Let me introduce to you Mr. Larry Lancaster. Next to Larry is one of the 106.7 The Fan sports analysts, and he's also a owner of a sports marketing consulting firm in Oxon Hill, Maryland. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rocky Parrish. Next to him is also a friend of the show and also a computer information security analyst, Ms. Tashya Tummings. And as always on the show, we have somebody from the audience who comes on. Give it up for Ms. Kawana Cohen. Did I get your name right?
You missed the name, but that's true.
I'm sorry, what was your? Oh, okay, Ms. Kawana Cohen Hopkins. Ms. Kawana
Okay.
Cohen Hopkins.
Yes, sir.
Give everybody their respect.
I worked hard for that one.
Yes. Okay. All right, well, we're going to start this off real quick. Now, one of the things I want to know is, we've only had the internet for the last 15 years, okay, really. Most of us only been on there for maybe the last 10 years. Has being so connected online distorted our connections offline? Like, being online, do you find it now like it's less likely for us to have to make tangible relationships in person?
I say yes, and sometimes you can notice it in like little small instances. Remember back in the day when you met someone, you wanted their phone number, you had to write it on a napkin, right. And it actually makes you less, you don't remember things the way you used to. Like you had to store numbers in your head, you had to remember numbers, you did things by repetition. Now you just put it in your phone and you lose your phone, you lost. Right. So it's just a small instance of technology, right. And of course the computer is no different.
It hurts the player, I understand. So what I'm saying is, it's in general, I'm saying, but all across in all forms, like even family, you know, family interaction. Some of us, you know, we have family that live across the country or something like that, and we don't talk to them or see them every day as we like to, but we're in connection with them online. It may be an email or it may be a Facebook or whatever. I mean, Rocky?
I would agree to some extent if you add the new smartphones to being a computer, because that's our mini computers, because when you say does it take away from it, well, at some point the consummation has to happen as far as the intimacy, as far as building that relationship. But with kids, I personally, since having a phone, a mini computer or a computer, I've forgotten people's phone numbers. Unless it's my mother, which is the same number I've had since I was probably 13, there's not many even my wife or my girlfriend or both would remember. I joke.
You must be hopeful we don't see nobody watching this show. We do have ratings.
Vic will know what I just said.
Yeah, real. I mean, that's a good point, though. I mean, like, okay, Facebook. One of the things is like Facebook and Twitter. Everybody says that's changed for better or for worse, depending on how you look at it, how we interact with people. I would just mention in family members. I mean, for me, it actually helps me keep in contact with my family where I just don't see them at funerals or family reunions or something like that. I can just say, hey, what's going on or whatever, and I don't have to sit up there and hear a long, tedious thing. I mean, Tashya?
But outside of family, I think it makes you connect with people that you don't want to connect with and people that think they're connected to you and they're really not.
But can't you deny friendship? I mean, we were talking about that earlier. He's like, you know, nah, I don't want you to be my friend.
You deny friendship, but then you turn into a bad person.
You can always tell a woman with stalkers.
You know what I mean? And it's
don't want to connect with people.
I don't want to connect.
Guys
Before
just
they used to have to follow you around. Now
Right.
they just follow your page and look at your pictures, and that's. I think
And
that's.
people do that.
Yes.
And they make comments, and then you. I mean, anytime you do something on the internet, a lot of people can see it.
And it doesn't go away. People don't understand whatever you put there never goes
And
away.
I think people need to be more cognizant about their behavior. If you have a job, it's not a smart thing to come on Facebook and say my manager is an ass,
Yeah,
and
a
then
lot of
they
people
see
gotten
it,
fired.
and then you fired the next
Yeah.
day. Like you have to be more cognizant. Like if you work in law enforcement, or you're a corrections officer, you shouldn't have inmates as your friends. It makes no sense.
You should.
Kawana.
But I think that's true. But at the same time, you have to know how to work the security settings. You have to be careful about who you friend and who you don't friend, because really you don't want everybody in your business, whether it be old friends, some family members who are a little too nosy and going to talk about all your business at the barbecue. You don't want them on your page. So you just need to mind your own and make sure that you set those privacy settings correctly.
But the very basic nature of Facebook is that you put out a lot of personal information automatically. They ask you your relationship status, your marriage status, where you live, what occupation, school,
But you
children.
you don't have
have
to
to,
put
but
that
it
there.
almost get to a point where it feels like, you know, and I've heard somebody say this, like, well, it just feels like, why are you on there if you're not even sharing anything about it when people say, oh, I'm in Alexandria too, or something like that. And I understand your point. You make a very good point about that, you know, not having people know too much information about you. I think one of the vulnerabilities people don't understand is that someone can, just by putting just that information on there, they can almost triangulate maybe your movements almost,
they
or something
do.
like that.
And that's when she said that about the security. That is very important. People don't even understand that there are some privacy settings on there that you should be aware of, because people are using the stalkering. All the stalkers are out there.
Okay, well, let's get to that then.
Stalkering
Why do people
tactics.
put on there, since we want to get on there about relationship, why do people announce their relationship status? Like, I don't put too much information on there. The reason why anybody might know anything on there is because I have a son and a daughter who are on Facebook. And so I do have them as friends, and they list me as their father and stuff like that. That's cool. But other stuff, you know, they say, well, we don't know this about you. You don't need to know that about me. You know what I mean?
But you're always going to have people who don't have a filter. And it's just like if you have a conversation with someone face to face, there are people who will tell you everything about them within the first 5 to 10 minutes of meeting them. So people will actually do that on a computer as well. And I think people have more of a tendency to do it on a computer because you're not face to face with people. And I think because you take away that human interaction directly, people don't understand that there are other humans who will see this information.
But, I personally have 2 different Facebook pages. One's for my family.
your girlfriend?
Right. No, well,
And for the wife.
and the radio page is specifically for anybody who wants to be my friend that follows the show. And when I just want to say whatever out of my mouth, unfiltered, I can say it. Because guess what? If you don't like it, you don't have to be my friend. For my personal page, it's for my kids, so that people, my cousins, aunts and uncles that are in the area can follow, you know, what's going on in my life personally, where I don't put, you know, I can put certain information out. But on the other page, when I do for the radio, I say, hey, this is where I'm going to be performing at, this is where our appearances are. And I might say, you know, I'm using the bathroom or something right now. Because guess what? Some people actually like that kind of thing.
Wow, that's crazy. Wait, I mean, but do you announce your relationship status? And if you do, why?
But I think that's a good point that you're making, Rocky, and is knowing your audience. Who are you really talking to? Who are your friends? You know, is it just whoever can access your page from off the internet if they search you, or is it limited so that you know that it's your friends, your colleagues, and your family? So it's all about knowing your audience.
Well, I think listing your status, as you were asking about, can get you in trouble because you need to have a conversation with your with your girlfriend or wife before you do it.
Why would you? Why do you think people do that?
Well, because other people want to know when they do make friends, what is your status? People are nosy. They
It's
like
a
to know that
dating
kind of
tool
thing.
as well as
People are gonna be nosy anyway. Like people ask me all the time, well, you know, what's it?
Like on my radio page.
I'll tell you if I think it's relevant.
On my radio page, I literally say I'm in a complicated relationship with my partner, who is Kevin from my radio show. I'm not gay, but it's the funny aspect of my Facebook page. On my
But it's just like
page, I'm
anything
single.
else. If you were an actor, everybody knows Denzel Washington is married. So why wouldn't he put that on his Facebook page if he had one?
Right.
So it's just, it's just a matter of
Denzel
people
is
have
married.
their own reasons.
ladies, if you did
Denzel
not
is
know,
married.
you know.
I mean,
Denzel
you know, and then some
is married.
people have their own reasons for disclosing the information or not disclosing the information.
Right.
And that's an individual judgment or assessment that you have to make on your own. Some people don't want people to know that they have a significant other for reasons, obviously not always cheating or whatever. You know, some people just don't want people to know.
Right, I don't want people to know that much about me. You don't need to know that.
But I think it's a personal decision, like you said, that you want to do it because your woman might be secure in the fact that you don't list that because she knows who she is to you. You know who she is to you.
She might not want
put me
people
on
to
your
know.
page.
But there are other insecure women out there who would have a problem with you not listing your.
She might not want people to know she going with you.
Oh, wow. I got to ask that question. We'll ask that right back after these messages.